This is my book review of, and I'm sure it's very long anticipated by some, including Bill Green. And Bill, I'm doing this because I want to. This is a book review. I finally finished it of the new book by Dr. John Bindernagel, The Discovery of the Sasquatch, Reconciling Culture, History, and Science in the Discovery Process. And this is a terrific follow-up to his 1998 book, The North America's Great Ape, the Sasquatch. And he really does a great job as far as he addresses the prevailing knowledge of scientists. He gives the example of the duck-billed platypus as a creature that was thought of as a hoax initially because it was so unusual looking. Because it was a mammal with a duck bill and it laid eggs. The scientists of the day thought it was a clever hoax committed by a taxidermist. So they at first refused to accept the concept of a mammal with a duck bill that laid eggs. Of course, eventually it became more widely accepted, but it took quite a long time for acceptance of the duck-billed platypus to come about. And Bindernagel examines some of the he examines some of the I don't know if you would call it questions, but some of the problems that science has with the existence of large hairy bipeds. He does provide quite a bit of testimonial evidence, including the William Rose story. He includes a few eyewitness drawings that were not in his first book, including by my good friend Darren Richardson, aka Thunderhawk. You can see that sketch in the upper left-hand corner here on this page. There's also the prospector's sketch. There's also a couple of other sketches of Sasquatch. Sorry, I'm smiling at my cat. He's on top of my air conditioner. There's a few other sketches. There's one from Ohio, which was a painting. That one's pretty. That's the one in the upper right-hand corner there. Also, number C. Interesting little sketch. I don't know if you can see that. There it is. He goes into testimonial evidence. Recent accounts are also recounted, and there's also several maps of some of the areas where these accounts occurred. Sasquatch tracks and other physical evidence. And he, of course, examines the that ever so easily, quote unquote, easily explainable hoax footprints. The hoax footprints, such as Rant Mullins, Ray Wallace. He shows a photo of Rant Mullins, as you can see right there. Then there's the Ray Wallace fakies, which wouldn't fool a 5-year-old. And one thing he looks into is the you look on this page right here. It's the divergent big toe, which I find quite interesting. The divergent big toe, which is pattern that's been found on some footprints and some footprint casts. And he compares differences between gorilla feet and human feet. You can see that gorillas have the longitudinal, or the mid-tarsal break, the longitudinal arch, but they have the midfoot flexibility, which we do not. We do not have that midfoot flexibility. And he examines different examples of how footprints may vary, referring to Sasquatch footprints. He also looks at tree twists. You can see quite a few of them there. Pretty impressive tree twists, which if they were hoax, they would have had to have been done by a machine, because I mean, these are just amazing. And he goes into scrutinizing and interpreting the evidence, looking at anatomical patterns as compared to great apes, because John thinks that there's a connection between great apes and the Sasquatch. He thinks that the Sasquatch is indeed America's great ape. There's a few new sketches in addition to Darren Richardson's sketch, which I showed you a few minutes ago. There's a couple of other sketches right there. Some more photos of gorillas. And not only does he look into these behavioral patterns as compared to the great apes, the gorillas, he puts forward the great ape hypothesis, the importance of theory, which he emphasizes is extremely important to the process of discovery. And interestingly enough, Bindernagel puts forth in this book that the discovery has already happened. Those who have actually seen the Sasquatch have been the discoverers. We've discovered that there is an extant species of primate living in North America. It's just that there's been a forestallance of the discovery. There's been scientific resistance to the discovery. He examines the possibility of Sasquatch as misidentified bear, as myth, as hoax, as so there's pseudoscientific and scientific taboos, unawareness of evidence, conformity and dissent. I found this chart to be quite interesting. It's kind of a chart of kind of a circular arguments against the Sasquatch, against the possibility of the existence of the Sasquatch. And then there's conformity and dissent, interdisciplinary dissonance, all kinds of really interesting things to think about in this book. I really enjoyed this book. I can't give it anything but a 5.5 out of 5 stars. Really great follow-up to his initial book. North America's Great Ape, the Sasquatch. This book can be purchased at beachcomberbooks.com. It is. I warn you, it is a bit steep in price. It's $55, but I feel it's well worth it. I feel it's well worth getting this book. And I agree with Bindernagel. I think the discovery has occurred. It's just that it's been delayed, and that science has been reticent to acknowledge that there are hairy bipeds out there, large hairy bipedal primates. I feel that this is an important book for anyone to have. It is written more for the scientists. This is actually written to address Bindernagel's scientific colleagues. And he does get a bit sciencey in this, a bit more sciencey than in his first book. But I hope that doesn't discourage you from purchasing this book and reading it. I really enjoyed this book, really excellent. Great follow-up to North America's Great Ape, the Sasquatch. Really enjoyed it. Great book. 5.5 out of 5 stars. I highly recommend it.